Given identity as an athlete can be often linked to their sport, how has that been for you after moving away from boxing?
Difficult. That's a great question to start off with. Considering that when I went to the gym the other day, I got called "You're the boxer" off Instagram. It is a difficult one because we all want this rep of being known for something, but sometimes we feel like we're changing every day. So I don't see myself as the boxer anymore.
No.
But that's what I got called by the first person that's ever met me in public that I don't know. So it's definitely hard, but I think, like we were speaking about before the cameras went on, it's just about being authentic. Tell people if you want to change up. And I think it gives them a bit of courage to do that as well, that you don't have to stick to something.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I mean, I've just been thinking about it because I was thinking like what I could ask, and I had it myself when I was injured for years. And like the one thing that I was so used to doing, well, spending majority of my time doing, I then couldn't do it. I was having to find other areas.
Yeah.
It just was weird because like people know that you're a footballer or whatever you do, and then if you're not doing that, or you've changed that. It's like different, but change is good. Like you've got to grow and you've got to adapt, right?
100%. We get older, we change who we are.
Yeah.
And I think it's only people's perceptions that we don't want to change, because I think a lot of us get stuck with trying to impress others. So I think just be truthful to yourself. I agree.
Good mantra, mate. Good mantra, mate. Right, okay. So, Max, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Who are you? What should people know about you?
I'm Maximus. I'm a guy that just likes to get after it every day. Likes to win the mental challenges, the mental battles. Love sport, love coffee. Got treated to a coffee before this. And just trying to be the greatest person I can be. I feel like I'm living it, not trying to anymore. Adapted the mindset that I'm living it. So, yeah.
Just hosted a run club this morning. Go all right?
Run club were great. Most people that we've ever had. Started off with 3 people, and now we've got 9 today after 1 month of doing it. So getting all types of runners, never run before, ran half marathons, ran only a 5K, men, women, young, old. We're getting everybody. So that's what we're trying to do, build a community.
That's what we want, man. Love it. And what have you got coming up? You've got a few races in the books, yeah?
Yeah, a few races. We've got the Great North Run in Newcastle, September 2026. And then Sheffield Half Marathon in March. I believe it's March. But yeah, first ever endurance races. Like endurance has always been my speciality. And I always said when I was playing football that I should have been a boxer. Then I started boxing, and when I was boxing, I said I should have been an endurance runner. I haven't said anything else yet. I'm just, I'm like I say, I'm changing my ways.
Get a few months into this,
Do you know what I mean?
else. Yeah?
I'm going to be into rugby or darts or something.
Hey, you got to try things though, man. It's good. Like you just got to explore, right?
100%.
And how are you finding that change? Obviously, they're quite 2 different disciplines. Obviously, there's like the fitness element is just kind of remains, but obviously running and boxing quite different. How have you found that?
The running's both of them are about showing up every single day, being consistent. We all know that's the biggest key in any success. But when you're boxing, and I'm sure we'll touch on it later, it's about who's willing to go the longest, and it's about who's going to break first. And for me, having to take that style of training out of my running has been a big change, because speaking to S&C coaches, people that have done marathons, triathlons, all they say is it's about how many miles you can do. It's not about going as hard as you can. It's about doing it as much as you can. Where boxing, it's about going as hard as you can for, if it's 3 2-minute rounds or if it's 12 3-minute rounds. I think changing that style of training to, let's just go at 70% today, and let's not feel guilty about it after, has been the biggest change for me.
A different type of discipline, I guess.
It's a different type of discipline. It's both mental. I think every sport's all mental, but it's definitely a different. That's the way to go.
I suppose one's stereotypically hard, and the other's kind of hard about sort of obviously being tough, so to speak.
100%. I think it's harder to motivate yourself to go running, to be like, right, I've got to run 2 hours today.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, 2 hours? Like, I can get so much done in 2 hours. Where boxing, you're in there, it takes me 6 minutes, I'm in and out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm going to takeaway after to treat myself after the fight. So they're two different mental challenges, that's for sure.
Have you enjoyed it though?
100%. And I still like to box every now and then, but the running has done so much for my mental.
Yeah.
It really has. I think getting out, morning miles, I like to say thumping tarmac, it really puts you in a great mindset because you're not going fast and you're not trying to kill yourself. You can think. Yeah. You're in your zone. Where in there, you're not thinking about anything.
Yeah.
That place, you're literally thinking about, I don't want to get my head knocked off. So I may as well try and knock his head off. Do you know what I mean? So I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the mindfulness. Do
you wear headphones whilst you're running?
Not anymore. No. Not anymore. I think every runner starts and then they search David Goggins and he says you gotta play with the mind. Yeah. So eventually you're just pushing yourself. You're like, oh my God, why have I not got some 50 Cent on right now? Just get me through it. And then you're like, you know what? You start having these thoughts. I have the best thoughts when I'm running. The best thoughts. I don't even know where they come from. But my best ideas have come from running. No music, no podcast, just digging deep into this. Yeah. So no headphones for me.
No, I think it's interesting because I rarely will just go on a run in parts of my training, but my girlfriend swears by it now, not using headphones. And she said it was similar things like being able to think, sort of almost having a different kind of calmness time.
100%.
But she actually said it helped a lot with sort of focusing on her form and kind of stride length and making sure that each step was exactly how it should be because you could hear it more. Yeah. I thought that was so interesting because it wouldn't, I don't know, for me, that wasn't something I'd initially think of. Like, oh, you just not got any music, you're going to be running better or as you should be. But it does make sense. It's interesting.
She's hit the nail on the head. At the end of the day, external noise will always take you on a different path. Yeah. That's in the world or when you're running. If you've got music, you've got a beat, you'll start picking up on that beat instead of that rhythm. I'm no special runner. You know what I mean? I've literally been at this for a few months, run all my life because of boxing and just running's coming back to it. Running's kind of just been my thing. Now I look back on life, 19 years old, not had much life in me, but
still a lot, mate. Still a lot.
Do you know what I mean? But I do think you focus on the things that you need to focus on. Your stride length, right? Point of contact, foot to floor. I do think it is important, and if you're trying to get those marginal gains, you can't have music on race day. Yeah. So you may as well train without it. Yeah. So it's cool.
There you go. No headphones, people.
No headphones.
Right. Okay. So let's go back to the sort of start of boxing because, as if people have seen on your Instagrams and whatnot, that was obviously a big part of what you were doing and what you have done. Yeah. So how did you get into boxing originally? How long were you doing that for?
So boxing went my first sport. Like yourself, football was where it all started. Yeah. Every English kid's dream is to be a footballer. If you're not, I don't know what's going on. But for me, I always got told I was the hardest worker on the team, not the best footballer on the team.
Still counts.
And it all plays a part. It all plays a part. And I did my first year of men's football at 16, which was a massive punch in the face. Yeah. Mind the pun. And we used to drive past this gym every day. Me and my dad, we'd drive past this gym. And I used to know the coach's son. I used to play football with the coach's son. But we'll get to that. But we used to drive past this gym every day. And I used to say to my dad, I should have been a fighter. Like, I love fighting. I love scrapping. Got no younger brothers. I've got older sisters, but I would never fight with anyone. But I just loved fighting. And he was like, well, you've still got time. You can do it if you want. And I was like, nah, I've told everyone I'm going to be a footballer. And when you're at school, I'm getting everyone taking the mick. No, everyone's saying you can't do it, you can't do it. And in my mind, I'm like, no, I can definitely do it. And I did that first year of men's football. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go to the gym. Also because one of my mates said he'd have it with me in the ring. So I came down and we had a body spar.
You had another incentive.
Yeah, but the love and massive respect to my coach, Mark. He's not even a coach, he's like my uncle. Do you know what I mean? He's family to me. But he just showed me some sort of love that I was like, I want to come here again. And I had training commitments, work commitments. But it was the one thing at that time, which was 3 years ago, would have been 16 years old, where I was like, I really want to make time for this. And it was just once a week, and then it went to twice a week. And I was like, I just need to be here. So I stopped the football. And that goes back to what we were saying at the start. As soon as I told people I weren't playing football anymore, they were like, we knew you couldn't do it. And I had to embrace that. I had to throw my ego out the window and be like, yeah, maybe you was right, but doesn't mean I can't make it in this. And that's when I got told that I was pretty good at it. I was pretty good for the time I'd spent in the gym. And yeah, it's ever since till this new chapter, I just thought I should be a fighter. I should be a fighter, and maybe we shouldn't be a fighter. Do you know what I mean? That's where we are now. Maybe we're not meant to be a fighter, but it's taught me so many values, so many skills. Not just me, everyone that walks in the gym. It's it really has. It's done a lot for me.
Yeah.
It's done a lot for me.
A lot of discipline, right? I mean, I've never sort of entered the space at all, but I think even as someone who doesn't know about it, all you hear about is it's brilliant for discipline. Get young kids doing it, because
100%.
even though it is a violent sport, it teaches you how to control that violence and be disciplined with it. And I think that's an important lesson there.
Super important. I think a generation that we're in now, and we're the heart of it, there's a lot of talking on social media. There's a lot of talking behind the camera, talking over the phone. You see it with kids all the time. I think you'll know, and I know, as soon as I left school, I didn't have so-called beef with anybody anymore because you're not interacting with them. But I think the boxing gym gives you that confidence where if someone is talking, you just ignore it.
Yeah.
It's not important. It's like we're saying, it's all external noise, and you learn it's that discipline of, all right, he might have one-upped me on that conversation, that argument, but I'm going to be man enough to walk away from it, and that's discipline. That's discipline, not folding to people's petty talk is discipline, and that's just from the mental side. That's not the doing the 1,000,000 burpees that you get made to do, and you know you're going to do them, but you still come to the gym anyway. So discipline is just one of the many values that it teaches you.
And it's just pettiness at the end of the day, and there's plenty of people who are always going to be like that. And if you are the bigger person, better person, ultimately, if you can avoid that and just ignore it, because why does it matter, right?
It's a life skill.
It's noise. It's noise.
All noise.
But no, I love that. But okay, so you've obviously explained to me, but let's dive into it a bit about the novice nationals and what it meant at the time, because this was clearly quite a big thing. It was something you were working towards, but equally it's been one of the reasons why you stepped away. So what is that, firstly, for people that don't know? What are the novice nationals?
So the novice nationals are a tournament that takes place all around England, and you've got different categories. So novice at the time was 2 to 20 fights, and then anything above that was the elites. So, and that's the great thing about boxing. It's like football with leagues. If you've only had 2 fights, it's very unfair to put you in against someone that's had 22 fights, because experience is everything. So from the first day I stepped into the gym and I knew that was a thing, that's what I wanted to do. It was, let me get my fights, let me get enough experience to compete in the novice, win them, and then go on and compete in the elites. But that was years down the line. You can't rush fights.
No, sure.
So for me, that's all I wanted to do. I had it took me a year to have my first fight after coming to the gym. I won that, sold 100 tickets on a home show, which is mad. It was so hot, so loud. Can't remember any of it. It was absolutely mental. And that drove me. The thought of losing my first fight absolutely drove me to, I can't even say perform, because you're just punching. Anyone that's had a fight knows in your first fight, it's about fitness. So, and like we said earlier, I used to kill myself in this gym to make sure I was fit enough. I probably could have been fitter if I just rested a bit more. So I had my first fight. Second fight, I won by a first round stoppage.
Okay.
Biggest high of my life.
Yeah.
I've just gone and beat this kid. We didn't know who we were fighting the whole night. We was there for 5 hours. We're like trying to think, because on amateur you don't know who you're going to fight really until the last minute on home shows. So we're like saying, is it him? Is it him?
Trying to eye people out.
Trying to eye people up, like, right, have I got to give him the death stare? Anyway, ended up being this 6'2" kid. I'm 5'7". I was like, right, okay. And I tell you what, that was the most. I've never been scared for a fight, and that's not to sound cool, because it's not. It's actually a bit of a detriment, because fear can drive you.
Yeah.
For me, I was so calm and I was so aware of what was going on. I didn't feel those emotions. I just eliminated them. But when I seen that it was a 6'2" kid, I was a bit like, there's him. He's 5'8". He's 5'10". I've got the biggest kid. So understandably, there was some, I've got the biggest kid here. There were never doubt, but it was definitely a different feeling to my first fight. Anyway, I went and dropped him in the first minute. And the point I'm trying to make is, sometimes even when you are scared, when you are a bit under the cosh, you can perform. Do you know what I mean? And all these things that you build up in your head before can really drive you. So that was my second fight. I then, like I say, won that first round stoppage. Third fight, I fought a kid on another home show. Everyone's heard Max has stopped a kid and he's won a first fight. He's won his first fight. So all my mates have come again. All my family have come again. Everyone's cheering. It was so loud. It was so loud. You don't hear it much on amateur boxing shows like that. I lose in front of everyone. And you get this massive silent. Yeah. So silent. And I heard every lip. You could hear a penny drop. It went that silent, because I'm not saying I should have lost. They're just excuses. But it was a tough pill to swallow, especially when I'd had a lot of noise tell me that you're not going to lose. No one under 10 fights is going to beat you. No one in the novice category can beat you. And this is when we get back onto the nationals. So I said earlier, 2 fights was the minimum amount. I'd missed the nationals that year. They started after my second fight. Right. So I missed them, and I thought I'll compete for a year and then compete in them the following year. So I then have my first experience in a tournament. I fight in the Ed Bilby Box Cup, get to the semi-finals, and I went up a weight class. I'd just been Thailand, putting on a couple extra pounds, but I thought, you know what, we'll go and fight. It's my first experience at a tournament. If I want to go and fight in the nationals, I'm going to have to know what it's like fighting in a tournament setting. We go into that fight, great fight with a kid from Finchley Gym, Anthony Joshua's amateur gym, and we just come up short. But it was a great fight. So I was on 4 fights, and I was ready to go into the nationals the following year. They put it up to 5. Okay. They said you had to have 5 fights minimum to compete in the novice nationals. The kid who I fought as well won the tournament. So I was itching to have a rematch with him. Sure. Because it would have been, we'd have undoubtedly been the final. As soon as they put it up to 5, I was like, the thing that has drove me for the past 2 years is ultimately, it's just creeping away. Every time I get that close, it's creeping away. And you can argue that it's testing you, but that's when you've got to be honest with yourself. I knew the type of training I did, the intensity I trained at, I couldn't maintain that another year. It was hard. I was not eating enough. I was in my head too much. And ultimately, like you said at the start, which were beautiful, the thing that drove me towards the sport eventually just pulled me back, because I'd have to wait another year. I didn't want to wait another year. I didn't love it enough to wait another year. So, yeah, the novice nationals, I feel like I needed to owe it to myself for all the training I'd put in, the heavy spars, the long runs, the high intensity. but ultimately, in the long run, it weren't for me. It weren't for me. It'd have been a beautiful story, but it weren't for me.
Well, that's a big thing, though. I think to be emotionally and physically aware of yourself, of the effect it was taking, and to be able to say to yourself, right, no, it's almost going to be harder for you to say that and stop going towards it rather than just keep doing what you're doing and just having that negative effect potentially. That's only going to compound and get worse. But you took the big step away from it. So that's
100%.
Don't doubt that, mate. That's massive. Like, not many people would do that, I don't think.
I agree. Sorry, before we move on, I just want to say as well, for people that don't know, I was posting social media content about being the boxer.
Yeah.
To get back to that. So ultimately, all those followers, views, everything that I'd accumulated from boxing, I'm on this journey of trying to create a platform on social media. I'm then thinking, well, I've got to stay as the boxer.
Yeah.
Because that's why people are following me. That's why people want me, because I'm the boxer and they can look to that. And so all these things, I was like, if I stop doing it, it's just going to be another, he said he was going to do it. But as soon as it got a little bit difficult, he didn't want to do it. So it was a big mental thing, but I believe that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. Oh, my girlfriend says that all the time. Everything happens for a reason.
A lot of wisdom. She got a lot of wisdom.
I struggle to believe it some of the time, but unfortunately it does ring true a lot.
It really does.
Because as you say, it's like identity, and when you go for a massive change like that, you have got there's so much that comes into an account. It's not just, I'm not going to do this sport anymore. Like you say, it was like something else you're working on. It was people's perceptions, but as you say, it's outside noise though, and you've got to do what's true to yourself at the end of the day and focus on that. And if you know in yourself that's the right thing to do, it's the right thing to do. And
1,000,000%.
You've done that, and better off for it by the sound of it.
Definitely. It's definitely been the better decision for me. 1,000,000%. And it takes courage. It takes real courage.
100%.
It sounds cliche, but I think it's a lot of things. That's a big thing people like nowadays is courage.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. Okay, but ultimately, still that led you into your coaching and boxing coaching, and you're still doing that now, right?
Still doing that every day.
So how did that start out? Was that just something you were doing on the side alongside the competing, or what? Was it a job?
Yeah, so before I started boxing, I was saying I wanted to be a footballer. I was a football coach.
Okay.
So when I came to the boxing gym, my coach, even though I'd only boxed for about a month, and again, I'd learned quick, I dedicated a lot of time, and we are only talking a month, but my boxing coach could see that I could coach. And when you're only teaching young kids, as long as you know the fundamentals of the sport, keep your hands up, plant your feet, twist your hips when you throw a shot, you can teach a young kid that. Yeah. I'm not saying you can teach someone your age, because ultimately there's a lot more that goes into it. But if you're just teaching a 5 to 10-year-old, you can tell them the basics and not have to worry about them being able to do it in a fight. There's nothing on the line for him. So that's how I got into coaching. And then my coach was just always on to me. He's like, Max, as much as that, like, you can do something in boxing, you can do something in the coaching industry. You can go and travel the world and be a coach in other parts of the world. Your Tony Jeffries in Dubai, stuff like that. Like, even though you don't know much yet, you've got that personality to be able to do it. And I was always like, no, I want to be a boxer. Again, I told everybody I was going to be a world champion. And it's something we'll definitely talk about in a bit, but I was like, no, I haven't got time to help anybody. Very selfish. I want to just put all the hours I can into me. And then he'd put me on stuff. He'd say, Max, take this part of the session. I'm like, I want to fight. I want to train. And he's like, no, go on, take these. So I'm like doing it. Boom, session's over. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, you've been doing that for an hour. I'm like, what? Bear in mind, 3 minutes goes a very long time when you're fighting. Yeah. Oh, so when the hour's gone, I'm like, I didn't even realize. And then every so often, he'd just do that. Then he offered if I wanted to take my own class. I was like, no, I don't want to commit to that. I've got park run on a Saturday. Again, just putting more miles on the clock. And I'm like, I can't give that up. I've got to get fit. I've got to do this. And he's like, just try it. So we did a trial run. 1 week. We went out, did the coaching, did the classes. I loved it. And I was like, okay, maybe let's not do this as a trial. It was just Christmas, so we had the Christmas holidays. Let's come back after Christmas. And then from January to now, it's called Boxing Clubs in Sheffield. We've gone from 0 kids to a cold gym where you had to have hoodies and coats on, to getting 20 plus kids on a Saturday morning coming and learning the trade and having fun. Man. So that's how we fell into it, and we're still doing it every day. Just trying to make a community. That's what it is here.
I was going to say, plug the hell out of it. What's it called?
Yeah, I mean, UIS community, Sheffield. If you're anywhere near, you've got 5 to 10 to 15 to adults. This is the place to be, man. It's we're really changing people's lives. Changed my life. I'd like to say I'm a project of it. First boxer from here. So I just want to install that into other people that come. So the coaching, I love helping people, and that's where I fell into.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. I mean, I've dabbled in a little bit of football coaching in the past, and that was always the thing I loved about it, was getting to see people improve and get better off things that you've ultimately distilled to them. I don't know, there wasn't any other feeling like it. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So I can get that massively, and I think if you can find a way to do that well, you'll get people coming to you, man. Like
100%.
If you can get people that are willing to learn from you and take those ideas, and you can give it to them in an effective way, they're invaluable. Right to anything.
You said it best. Like I say, there's a great feeling in giving something to somebody and them appreciating it and using it as a skill, a value, a system. There's a great feeling in that. Knowing that you're a bit of a motivator, it's a nice feeling.
No, it's something people lack a lot, unfortunately. And if you can help people with that, then go crazy, man. Like, that's brilliant.
100%.
Okay, what do you think is the biggest thing you've learned from coaching other people? And has that impacted your training at all and things that you do?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I've learned is everybody's different. Everybody needs different cues. I like to put it out there, I'm no professional coach. I'm just someone that, again, loves to help people. But from what I've noticed is, actually, I'm a professional coach. I've got the license, but I don't see myself as
we'll cut that bit out.
No, we can keep that in. Honest, we can keep that in, honestly. But I think people have different cues, and there's not one plan for everybody. There's not one style fits all. We like to say it in boxing, styles makes fights. So different styles of coaching makes different people, and it is needed for different people. So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing I've learned is you're not going to teach some person one thing. You might think you've cracked the code. Right, that's how I teach how to keep the hand up. Something really basic. And then you're just doing reps with the same kid, and they're not bringing their hands up after a shot, and you're like, but why did Joey over there do it? Why can Bobby not? Why does he pull his hand down when he goes to throw a hook? So I think everybody's different, and how you approach them, and I think this is a skill, not just that. I think in terms of coaching, to answer the other part of the question, is how you approach people really matters. I think you can't just go at someone thinking, right, again, it worked for him, that's how I'm going to approach them. If some kid comes through the door really loud, really energetic, you know you can fire back at them with that. You can bounce off that energy. Some kid comes in twiddling the thumbs, biting the fingernails. You know, you've got to be a bit more sentimental. You've got to be a bit more caring for them. So I think that's the skill it's taught me is don't judge people. Not that don't judge people, but act differently with different people. Yeah,
adapt their needs.
Great word. Yeah, great.
I think that's probably my biggest pet peeve of like the online coaching industry is that countless, well, I guess you'd call them like influencer style coaches, have just a bog standard plan that they'll slap to everybody and anybody. And ultimately, everyone's different.
Chat GPT, whatever it's called. How do I make a coaching plan?
Be plenty more of those coming.
100%.
Crazy world, that one.
It really is.
All right, so that's kind of the boxing world, but I think you speak a lot about your mindset and consistency and the changes you've been through. And you said openly that your mantra is consistency, self-belief, and that it's okay to fail. But what of those three would you say is the most important for you?
Consistency.
Yeah.
Don't even have to think about it. My life has been built off of I like to say before boxing, maybe not even before the endurance stuff, really. So we're only talking a few months ago, maybe 6 months ago, maybe even less. Like, I was very good at doing something. If you told me a plan, I'd do it, but then I'd crash out because I went all in, 110, 110%, and I just burnt out and I dropped down to 10. Do you know what I mean?
One extreme to the other.
One extreme to the other. And I think that's a big case with boxers. Never happened when I played football.
Okay.
But when I started boxing, there's a massive stigma. Ricky Hatton just passed away. What a story that man has. But he was a prime example of, he'd give it his everything in training camp. As soon as that was over, he'd lose himself a bit. And I don't know his story. He's my biggest inspiration in the sport. But he is a prime example of one extreme to the other. And maybe only, a few months ago, mate, was when I really found the power of, right, let's just go at 80%. Let's just go 80% every single day. Let's not go too strict on the diet for 6 days and crash out on Sunday. Let's not train super hard and crash out on Wednesday. Let's just go 80% every single day. Let's get more reps. Let's have a go at it more, and let's see where we are. And I've learned that, and that's come from reading certain books, different people on socials, different people I've come into contact with, and they've just told me, Max, be consistent. That'll compound. That'll compound. Keep going. Don't burn yourself out. And my coach said it from day one, and it's probably why I've ended up not going through with the boxing and not going through with the football, is because I put so much pressure on myself at once. I couldn't keep it going. So for me, consistency is the biggest value that I stand for. It's my systems, it's what I go back to when I'm struggling. Consistency is key.
Yeah. I think compound is almost the right word. It sounds almost a bit extreme in that sense, but I think you hear it all the time, but it rings so true, is that it doesn't matter if you go have a brilliant workout one day and then you just sit on the sofa for the next 5. It's an accumulation of that little bit every single day, and whether that's like progressive overload in the gym or running that little bit further, a bit faster, getting a few more reps in. It's just those little bits that add up, and then
the 1%.
You start to notice it, right? And the changes aren't going to be made in a day, but they will do in a week, month, and year, right?
Exactly. You can't think it's going to happen straight away. You cannot think that, because it won't. I think that the problem we have is that social media does that for some people. If one video blows up, you think you've made it.
Yeah.
You really think you've made it. If you get that video that got 10k likes, 100,000 views, you think you've made it, and you think, this is it. Like, I've done it now. All right, let's take foot off the gas.
You got to do it again, though.
But you've got to do it again.
Yeah.
So what happens when that next video only hits 1,000 views? Well, are you going to think that you're crap? Are you going to think that you're worth? Like, what systems are you going to go back to? For me, that's consistency. For me, that's, let's get back to the plan and let's just keep going every day. Let's not, that's a great win. I like to call it a little dopamine boost. Gives me a good dopamine boost, but let's get back to the plan and let's just stay back on track.
All right, man. That's what you got to do, right? Okay. But something you said you've realised recently is the importance of accountability.
Yeah.
And not blaming others.
Yeah.
Can you speak on that?
Yeah, 100%. I think I've gone through a big shift in my life right now, a massive shift in relationships. And for me, it was because I felt like if I didn't become the person I have in my mind, then it weren't my fault. It was theirs. And it was a bitter pill to swallow, to realise, no, it is down to you. It is. If you don't make that, life's full of choices. Life is all about the choices that you make. And ultimately, if you don't hold yourself accountable to the choices that you make, then you are only to blame. If you decide that you're not going to do something because of what someone else may think, that's down to you. You can still take action despite what they think. You can still do the thing whether they don't want you to do the thing. You can still do the thing even if 99.9% of people aren't doing the thing. But if you decide that you're not going to do it because of them, well, that's on you. Because there's plenty of successful people in this world that did a lot of things that a lot of people wouldn't have done. So, accountability, hold yourself accountable, and don't blame other people.
Yeah,
it's down to you.
I think it clearly rings true of you a lot in kind of what you've spoken to, because back to sort of the changes in your sport and whatnot, it's staying true to yourself ultimately, and not letting whether it's opinions or thoughts of other people affect that. And that's not an easy thing to do, but
no.
I think it's going to be invaluable in just general progress for anybody doing it. And you've clearly benefited from it, and you're doing better for it. And I think, yeah, it's commendable, mate, to be able to do that and see it out, basically. And go forward.
I appreciate it gets acknowledged. I think it's the thing as well. I understand I'm young. I understand I'm only 19 years old. I get a real mental edge knowing that I'm doing more than any other 19-year-old. Do you know what I mean? I know that everyone goes out. We're in Sheffield, West Street. It's just being given a massive rep for something that's happened. So I know people are out there getting bladdered on a Saturday night. I know I'm running when people are getting the taxi home. They've seen me. That gives me some edge. And I'm not saying that's going to be the case for everybody, but I love knowing that I'm ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Or I think I am. I think I'm ahead of the game. Then I chat to someone that's 30, 40 years old and they're where I want to be. I'm like, I ain't ahead of the game.
No, but there'll always be someone better than you. Always going to be someone better than you, doing more, doing something different, doing something better. But ultimately, if you're just always in the mind like, I'm doing the most I can, so you can ask yourself.
100%.
That's more than other people around you, brilliant. But you've got to take away from those people above you who are doing more, draw on that. Just keep fucking hammering away, mate.
100%.
Right? No, I love it though, because I laugh because we've got a similar situation back where I'm from in Basingstoke, and our gym is right on the outskirts of the town centre, and there's been the odd mornings in the off season where I went and did runs around the town centre and did hill sprints down the street. At the top of the street is the main club.
Yeah.
And as you say, people like stumbling out back to their taxis at 4:30 in the morning, and I'm there running. I'm like, yeah.
You know how it makes you feel.
Just get such a buzz from it.
Especially when that drunk talk comes out. I just want to be like you. I just want to be like you, bro. It fuels the ego, but you just got to chuck that out the window and be humble, man.
No, I love it. I love it. Okay, so one of the other things we've kind of missed on it, and I want to go back to it because I feel like it's a big thing to talk on if you're still happy to. But the stories of your losses.
Yeah.
You said this is something you wanted to go through basically, and I could notice it when you were talking about it briefly earlier. It was the boxing, but it was a semi-final, wasn't it? That defeat, and then what ultimately was back-to-back defeats. Do you think that played, probably consciously or unconsciously, a big role in stepping away from the sport?
Great question. Funny, no one's asked me that. Maybe. No, I don't think so. Because coming out of both those fights, I think just like before the fight, I was the same after. I was so present. I know I said about the first fight where I can't remember what happened, but in that first loss and that second loss, I could talk you through everything I felt before the fight and during the fight and after the fight, because my coach just said, everything happens for a reason. As long as you know you tried your best, there's no regrets about what you did. And coming out of those fights, I've got photos. I'm smiling. We've literally got a photo of me getting my hand not raised, and me and my coach, there's a photo of us, we're just throwing up signs, you know what I mean? Like, we're buzzing because we knew we did everything we could leading up to it, never cut a corner. And in the fight, we never cut a corner. I think if you have goals outside of the achievement, as in the achievement's to win, but for me, it was about not feeling like I was going to gas out. I went in that fight and the kid messaged me after saying, that is the worst I've ever felt in a fight because your pressure was so intense. That was better than winning.
Yeah.
What does the winning do? Seriously, yes, you get a medal, you get a trophy, but what does it actually do for you in here? Does nothing. It might boost your self-esteem a bit, but that goes quick because you're more relieved than feeling any sort of reward when you're in that ring. So the win for me, I got that. I made myself proud and I kept going and I didn't stop. So no, I don't think the losses did steer me away from the sport. I think it really was, it just wasn't for me. And kind of goes back to it. I'm proud of the fact that I could step away from it and not let the loss determine it and let truly how I feel determine it. But losses are so important. You need them because going back to the first loss, I got tired. So that's why it was a goal for me in the second fight to not be tired because I knew what that felt like. So yes, the goal was to win, obviously. I'm a sports person. I love competing. You'll know what I mean. Anyone that's watching will know what I mean. But it wasn't the main goal. I knew that I wanted to feel better at the end of the fight than I did at the start. And people used to call me crazy for that because they said, amateur boxing, you should give everything. You should be dead at the end of the fight. Well, I did that. Felt like crap. Did it in the second defeat. Didn't feel like crap. Felt like I could have done another 3 rounds. And I felt proud of it. So 100% losses are important. It taught me a lesson to take into the next fight. But it definitely didn't drive me away from the sport.
I was going to say that because I think that's the key thing there, though, is that you learned, which is the most important thing about any loss, setback, anything that goes wrong is, yes, it's crap and it sucks, but it's what can you take from that and take forward? And that's what you've done. You clearly went away and did the work and you benefited from it in the next fight.
100%.
And that's all you can do, right? That's the most important thing. I think it's not easy. I get what you're saying about what does winning really mean? Does it really matter? But equally, it's interesting because you're right. You're not wrong. It's just a win. But what does that mean in the next day, the next week, the next month? Probably not much. It might not change much at all. But equally, as any sort of sports person, athlete, it's what we all chase, right? We all want to win a match, win a tournament, win a game, whatever it is. That's what we strive for. We buzz off it, right? And
competition.
Yeah,
we love competition.
You've got to, haven't you? If you do this,
I love self-improvement more.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that. Okay, so I think something that feeds into quite nicely is delayed gratification and steady progress versus quick wins. What does that mean to you?
Quick wins, they look good to others. Long wins look good for you. I think the quick wins, they make you feel good in the moment. The person next to you might come up to you and congratulate you for it. But ultimately, they're just what people see. I look at it as quick wins are just what people see. The long wins are what you go through and what you see. Might not look pretty on paper, but they're part of the grind. They're part of the grind. Once you run that marathon on race day, or half marathon, or you've done that boxing match, that football match, as soon as it's over, whatever the outcome is, you just get on with it. You've got rest day next day, then you've got training on Monday. So, and I think the long wins are built up on the Monday, the Tuesday, the Wednesday, the Thursday, the Friday. They're what people don't see. And then the quick wins, that's your Saturday. It's 5:30, final whistle's gone. People come up to you, say well done, your dopamine boost. Yeah, thanks, mate. That Meg's great. Yeah, really good. That right hand you're hitting with, wow, that was good. But really, it's the journey building up to that, which are the long wins, the delayed gratification. And I think those wins that we're on about do come from that as well, because if you don't put the work in, you might think, am I even getting better? You don't know until you try it on match day, fight day. You don't know if it's going to work until that day. So I think that they intertwine together, but the long wins, the ones that drag out, they come from your day-to-day life. Those quick wins, they feel good, but they don't define you.
Yeah. I want to go off on a bit of a tangent here slightly, which is a bit off the wall, but kind of feeding into, obviously, you're doing all your content stuff across social media.
Yeah.
You do a lot of the kind of day in the lives, so the 5 till 9. How do you think, or do you think those long wins, those daily 1%, do they feed into your content? Do you like to be able to show off those sort of, I guess, the realness behind it, rather than say, I've just smashed out a great session, which you see from so many people, and you tick that box. But where does the kind of those real world moments feed into that?
Yeah, no, I love that. That's a sick question. I think if you see my content, and everyone will see it one day,
Yes,
I think you'll see that I don't really post what I've done in a training aspect. I'm not here to show you that I've run a 17-minute 5K or a 36-minute 10K. I'm not showing that. I'm showing you what I've done to get to that. I'm showing you what my morning routine is to get me to that position. And like you said then, that's the realness, because people, you might get one click. You can only PB every so often. So you might get the one click on that one video. Wow, you did that. Well done, well done, well done. But what about if you haven't got another PB the next day? What are you going to post? What are you going to show people?
You can't rely on that too much.
Can't rely on it, especially when you're in the elite of what you're doing. I like to see myself as the elite in what I'm doing. So I know that the little daily habits I do leading up to the session, people can take inspiration from that more than just seeing, oh, he did that time. Well, I'm 10 minutes off that time. How did he do it? Like, I'm not relatable to him. Oh, wait, he sets an alarm in the morning. I can do that. He hydrates before he caffeinates. I can do that.
Famous line, I love it.
So you find out that you can do, from showing the little 1% that add up to the goal, you can show that, and people can take from that and use that. They're
more likely to be able to draw from that than they would be, say, a spectacular 10K time.
Exactly. And the thing is, you do that every day. I do that every day. Everything I post, I do every day. And it comes back to the consistency.
Yeah.
Showing up every single day.
Okay, so if that kind of comes back nicely to every day, you've spoken a lot, or with me at least, about eating and binge eating and kind of your journey with that and what that looks like. And something you're very open with now is your eating.
Yeah.
What's that story been like for you? What's that process, and where are you now with it?
This is probably a journey that will never, ever end. Never end.
Yeah, I can believe that.
This is one of those things, it's a blessing and a curse, learning your nutrition, because yes, you are healthier, but you also are so aware of what you're eating.
Yeah.
And what's in it, what's not in it. And it is really hard to look at food the same when you know what's in it, when you know what you should be doing, when you know what you shouldn't be doing. So I think for me, that is something that will be something I learn to deal with till the day I go. But what I have learned in that time is amazing. I've gone from, I was a youngest in the family. So I just got everything I wanted. There was no rules. If I started climbing up the kitchen shelves at bloody 1.5 years old, grabbing the quavers. That was me. I used to bang from about, till I can remember, since I could walk till I can remember, I was caning bags of crisps a day, sweets, chocolate, fizzy drink, all of that. I was eating all of that. Go to my nan's house, rock up, fries have done for me in the deep fat fry, whatever you call it. They're there for me. So I had no conscious of like what was in my food. Didn't care until I started boxing.
Yeah.
Until I started getting tired. Boxing puts you in a fatigue state that is unmatched.
Yeah.
So I was like, how can I get out? What can I do that'll make me not reach this as quick? Diet. I'm watching boxers' day in their lives, training days, all this, all that. And the main thing, the coaches, they've all got nutritionists. They're all saying your nutrition is 100% the most important thing outside your training. So that was it. I went through eating clean once every other day, and then eating what I want the next. And then I went to eat clean 3 days a week, eat what I want on the Thursday, go back to eat clean, eat what I want on the Sunday. I then went from eat clean Monday to Friday, eat what I want Saturday, Sunday. Then it was eat what I want all the way up to Sunday. And the theme that came from it was, you notice how good you feel when you eat the correct food.
I'm going to sneeze. No, okay, let's go.
You good? Yeah, you did good.
Okay. No, I wanted to stop you there anyway, actually, because that I think that's fascinating, because so much you hear about when people are just trying to eat healthy or whatever is they'll go to extremes and they'll try and diet really hard or like eat clean like all the time. Why did you do that? Why did you go at it from almost a progressive manner? What was that from your coach? Was it just something you decided to do or what?
I've always been an overthinker.
Yeah.
So not trying to divert, but I've just overthought everything. I've always looked at the bigger picture instead of that delayed gratification.
Yeah.
I've always looked at that. So for me, it was about putting systems in place that would compound over time. And to be fair, I'm probably lying. I probably did try and eat a salad every day first. I think I did. And I realised that weren't going to work.
Yeah.
There was food that I loved that I didn't want to give up. So I realised, yes, I've got to eliminate it one step at a time. And this is what I advise to everybody now. Again, no nutritionist. This is just off personal experience. I recognise that your mates, your missus, they're going to want to go out for food. So can you just be as consistent as possible as you can until you get to that situation? That dinner, that lunch, that bakery in the morning. You then realise, okay, I feel a lot better when I go for 5 days, and I hate how I feel on Saturday when I've ate what I want. So then that progression of, all right, let's take that day away. Let's do 6 days clean. Let's do 7. And eventually you find yourself in this cycle of what lifestyle is. It's not a diet anymore. It's a lifestyle. But that comes from little steps every single day. You've seen it on my Instagram the other day. Started eating apple crumble at 9:30 at night.
Yeah.
I don't do that, but it happens. And I think, yes, sometimes you are going to go off track, but what are your systems to get back on track?
What do you fall back to?
What do you fall back to?
And we're all human, right? Like, we've all got it. I've suffered and still do with binge eating. It's a weird sort of comfort mechanism for me.
It is. It really is.
Ultimately, like, we're all going to have those cravings and whatnot. But yeah, as you say, it's what do you fall back to? And I think the biggest thing I suck at it, but trying to get into my head at the time where I would default to eating is like, how is this going to make me feel? Because I know the next day I'm going to feel like absolute rubbish if I eat rubbish.
Yeah.
Whereas I know how good my body will feel after ultimately staying on track and eating the right things that I know are going to be good for me.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It's not easy. But yeah, I think that's what as you say, you've got to fall back onto what you know, what's the impact it's going to have, what's your system, as you say.
Yeah, systems, man, they're important. They're so important.
I love it. Okay, so I think the kind of the thing that this goes into quite nicely in terms of systems, especially, is the balance that we obviously allude to a lot. Is this Amateur Athlete Diaries and this balance and this ongoing battle that you have to take. You speak about balancing a 5-day work week with 2 sessions a day quite often, and your business building, as you call it, of your content and whatnot. Well, what's that like for you? How do you find it? Do you enjoy it?
I love it, man. I love it. And you know what helps? Stops me eating as much. I've got that much to do. I ain't got time to eat. Like I say, I've just gone on a run this morning with the group, put a banana down me, and I'm straight here. Yeah. So it keeps me busy. I think it gives me purpose. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people say, Max, you've got no time for anybody. And it is a hard thing to, when you do have that little bit of extra time, you think, can I go and see my mates? No, I should really go and do this. I've got to work on something. But I do love it, not to get too deep into that. I think the saying is, give a man a purpose, he'll keep working. He'll keep going. And I think that's what I have. And I wouldn't change it for anything, to be honest. I love the fact that I'm constant. It's like a game to me. I love that I've got to figure out how I can save 30 minutes there, how I can fit that workout in on that day when I've got this and that. And I just see it as a game. I don't put too much pressure on myself. Just, you might fail one day. You might completely mess that routine up. You didn't edit. You didn't get your stretching in, your breath work. You might have completely, everything gone out the window. Okay, the game is now, tomorrow, which one can I add back in? What system can I fall back to? So, yeah, it is a challenge balancing it, but it makes it fun. I think if you realise that it's not over, like, your life's not over. So what, you didn't edit your video at 2:40 when you said you were going to. Yeah. You're still living, you're still breathing, you still got a healthy family, you still got everything else going right for you. Let's just try and work on it again tomorrow. So see it as a game, have fun with it, and just see where you can save times in your life. Can you stop a bit of scrolling? Can you not watch that Netflix series every night? I think treat yourself, watch it if you do have time, watch it. Yeah, I think balance is hard. I think especially for us, like, we are so young and we know who we want to be and where we want to be. So we feel like we have to be go. But you can find time. You can do it if you want to. You can do it if you want to. It just takes self-review. Self-review is massive.
Are you able to do that on a day-to-day basis? Because you speak about this very well here, but I think the hardest thing is, and I find this, and I relate to what you're saying a lot, and I like to think I'm good at sort of stepping back when I can and looking at what I'm doing, but on a day-to-day, I think the hardest thing I find is finding those moments of stillness, I call it. Ryan Holiday, Stillness is the Key. That book's fantastic. Those moments of stillness where you can slow down, and for me, like, often it's journaling or reading. It can just be like having a bit of quiet time. You good at doing that or no?
I wasn't.
No.
Definitely wasn't. But again, it goes back to failing, losing, learning, reviewing, and you find a way to get better at it. For me, that was, I know, it's like what you said about the eating. I know how I felt when I did do the review. I knew how good I felt the next day, knowing that I'd reviewed the previous day and I had something to work on that day. So I make it a massive priority. I think the bonus for me is I don't drive. I have to walk everywhere.
Yeah.
So that is my moment of stillness.
Yeah.
That's when I give my time to think, to get in with my thoughts, and then end of the day. And it's helped with the social media. I write down what I write in my journal onto my social media. So in my head, I'm thinking if I don't put it on social media, then I'm selling everyone a lie. So that keeps me accountable, back to the accountability. So I always try and make time for it. Don't try. I do make time for it. And some days it might just be a line. It might just be a couple lines because I'm tired and I have left it to the end of the day. Some days I get pages full. I'm like, I should be an author. So it was something
Book on the way?
Mate, the podcast was a big dream. We turned that to reality. So a book when I've got the experience of life, for sure, man. For sure.
Love it. Okay, how about recovery? You've kind of mentioned before in previous last year boxing, like you weren't recovering enough. What does that look like now? Are you better at it? How do you fit it in? What do you do?
Yeah, a lot better at it. I think everything will go back to the same things. I was all in. I'd spend an hour in the morning stretching. I'd spend an hour at night stretching. But I used to dread it every single day because I knew I was spending 2 hours a day stretching. So for me, well, it got to the point where I stopped stretching. I was tight. I didn't feel good.
No.
I felt amazing on the days that I stretched for an hour, but I felt so tight on the days that I didn't. So for me, I had to find a way to compact that down. And that's gone from an hour to 40 to 30 to 20. Now I'm at a good 10 to 20 minutes. I think that's an appropriate amount of time to stretch in the morning and at night. I actually just make it a bit more fun. I'll put a podcast on while I'm stretching.
Nice.
So I don't think I have to be that in with my thoughts while I'm stretching. I know I've been onto that a lot, but I definitely think it just goes back to slowly compounding good habits, compounding the time down to something that works for you. An hour didn't work for me on a day-to-day basis. 10 to 20 minutes does. So for me, that is just, I like to call it my wake up, open up, warm up. Waking up in the morning, opening up on the foam roller, on the mobility, and then warming up, getting a bit of light movement in to warm the body up before what I do. At night, it's just wherever's a bit tight, let me hang around in it for a minute, move on to something else. I used to do the cold baths. I love a hot bath. I cold shower every day, but at night, I'm getting in that warm bath.
Can't be a hot bath.
I'm not getting in a cold bath at night. The mental challenge can beat me on that one, but yeah.
Getting a candle going as well?
Do you know what? My mum does if she runs the bath for me. My mum will put a candle on, but most of the time I'm like, get me in, get me out. As much as I want to sit in there and relax, I'm just get me in, get me out, get me to bed, man.
Okay. All right, so last thing on like the amateur athletes, and this is something we're going to try and ask everybody. We think amateur athletes deserve more recognition, more celebration. The thing I was actually talking about the other day was we're celebrating the people who don't get celebrated.
Facts. I love that.
Why, in your eyes, do amateur athletes deserve more recognition?
Because that is such a great question. Big up yourself for that. I think we are trying to do everything a professional athlete does without professional help. That's the nutritionist, that's the coaching, that's the time. Oh my gosh, if I had the amount of time that a professional athlete had, I'd be at the top. So I think we've got to give ourselves, other amateur athletes, the appreciation for making this work around everything else that they have to do. For some people, that's their kids. For some people, that's their job. For some people, that's other priorities that are above the training, which we all would love the training to be the main priority. And to be honest, I think we do make it the main priority. But we're also very conscious of what our priorities as well as that. So that's the message. I think they deserve a lot of credit, and we have to balance a lot. And if you're doing that and don't beat yourself up if you're not hitting every workout, if you're not hitting every macro, if you're struggling for time with your friends. It's not the end of the world. Just go again. Just go again.
I think that's perfect, mate. It's not the end of the world. Go again. True that. So true. Okay, right. And we've got some quick fire questions before we wrap this one up. Okay, so yeah, just try and answer this as quick as you can. So first one, and you've kind of alluded to it here, but it's slightly different. What does it mean to be an amateur athlete to you?
Working around other priorities and doing it in the best way you can.
Favourite quote at the moment?
Wow. Let them judge you no matter what you do, because whatever you do, they will judge you. You may as well just be the best version of you. That's mine, that.
Love that.
That is mine. That is mine, I'm telling you.
Best lesson from your years of training?
Go 80%, not 110%.
Greatest achievement so far?
That I love it. That I love my training. I love what I do. And I love the journey. Nothing materialistic. I'm just loving what I do.
Got to be passionate about what you do, man. I love that. Biggest goal on the horizon?
Half marathon. Want to run my first half marathon in sub 120.
Okay. Spacey, man. On track?
I think so.
Yeah.
I need to get somewhere flat. Sheffield's very hilly. Sheffield's very hilly. So, but I think we're on track.
Love that. Love that. What do you fall short in balancing that you'd like to get better at?
Time with my friends.
What keeps you disciplined?
The feeling. Wow. Meant to be a quick fire, but that was deep. The thing that keeps me disciplined is I want to be a great role model for other people.
Love that, man. Love that, man. I think people can learn a lot from your kind of mindset and just commitment to all of this. I think powerful, mate. Not many people have that.
They can get past the rambling on.
Yeah, we've all got some of that. Okay, so that's that. But what's next for you that people should know? You said you're going travelling next year. Where's that going to be?
Starting off Australia, go to Southeast Asia, and then go a bit around Europe. I think that's where I want to do it. Yeah. I want to document the journey.
Nice.
Hopefully do some races, fitness racing, endurance racing. Maybe base it off that a bit. Wherever there's a race, Rushy will be. You know what I mean? That's where I'll be.
Not got much of a plan yet, just kind of...
Very broad, very broad plan. I'm hoping to be going in about 16 months to be specific. So yeah, I think that's where I want to go. I want to go and see the world. I told everybody while I was competing in sports that go and see the world, go and travel. Speaking like I've got some wisdom of a 40-year-old man, but I was like, you should go and do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, if I just followed my own advice, I'd do pretty good at life.
Yeah.
So I just thought, I've got no commitments now, boxing, football, like nothing. It's all self-development and traveling is a part of that. So that's definitely the next big chapter in my life.
Love that. Love that. Okay. Well, that's that from me. Anything else you want to share to the fellow amateur athletes out there before we finish up?
Keep working hard. Keep striving to be the greatest version of yourself. Let them judge you no matter what you do, because they're always going to judge you. But as long as you think you're becoming the greatest version of you, then you've got nothing to worry about. And that's it for me.
Amen.
Amen.
And now you've got a little challenge here, because something I want to do now for the second season is stealing this from a diary of CEO.
I knew it.
But ask a question for the next guest. I think this is brilliant. I love this concept. But unfortunately, given you're the first one on the new season, there's no question and no inspiration for you. So take a moment to think if you want, but what would you like to ask the next person? I can give you a little bit of context. They're an ultra runner.
Ultra runner, nice. So they probably dug into the mental more than me, to be honest.
That's saying something.
We don't need motivating, we push ourselves. I think my question for this next person is, what can you do better?
Okay. I like that. Okie dokie. Right. Tell people where can they find you? Where do they need to check you out with all your content, man?
Instagram, dmd.maximus. TikTok, Maximus Rushforth. And UIS community on Facebook, on Instagram. That's where we are. And if I see you, say hi. Do you know what I mean? I love it. I love speaking to people, as you can tell.
Yeah.
And I've actually got a little gift for you.
Shut up. No way.
I think for coming here, making a big commitment, UIS t-shirt.
Oh, mate, I love it.
Go and rep it down south, man.
Down south.
I think we're running up here in the north.
That's class, man. Thank you so much.
But I think that's for you, mate. And I appreciate you coming here and giving me the opportunity.
Mate, absolutely.
To speak.
Thank you.
No,
thanks for your
good,
time.
Man.
Love it, dude.
That's how we do it.
Brilliant.
Love it, man.
I'm going to train in that tomorrow.
Love it.